So the strategic plan is 2023-2028. And this time, the strategic plan is actually an action plan. It is not some kind of static document that we have been generating over the past 12 months, but it's going to be an actionable roadmap. And it reflects, in fact, the priorities of all the stakeholders. And for those of you that were not aware, we have interviewed together with the consultant, many people from very different backgrounds. And there was this unanimous agreement that since we have one drug approved, we want more. So in fact, let's, as we always say, you know, the beginning, let's in the beginning start with the end, like what is our end goal? What is our North Star? And in fact, our question today is, does any action we're doing at the foundation, any project, any investment, will that bring us closer to getting more approved drugs, which is so unanimously agreed on by the entire community? So one of the things that we have been known for, as you know, we have a lot of friends in partner foundations throughout the NF space. I think what has made us unique over all those years, 45 years, by the way, this year, is that our fight is for everybody. Everybody in the sense of NF1, NF2 related schwannomatosis, non-NF2 related schwannomatosis, no difference in age, location. We won't let anyone behind in our fight against NF. So how does our future look? What is this ambitious plan that we have put together? And it's in fact has led to 5 main objectives. We want approved drugs, as I said before, for everybody, everywhere. We want to be that central address. And that central address means that CTF wants to be a one-stop shop for both information and resources for everybody, not only for the patients, but also for new researchers or for new healthcare providers. Everybody who comes into the space finds that central address at CTF. The next topic is the global trials platform. We have amazing investments from the CDMRP in the NF Clinical Trials Consortium, and we definitely want to help make that even a stronger platform. We have the first NF2 related schwannomatosis platform trial up and running, led by Scott Plotkin from Harvard. We want to further strengthen that. And we also want to globalize. As you know or not know, we were part of a 26 million euro investment from the European community called the Innovative Medicine Initiative, where we have developed new platform trials for all forms of NF. The fourth one is we want more preclinical models, because it is like a machine, right? If you get more clinical trials up and running that are really efficient and that are able to evaluate drugs very quickly for our patients, you need a machine that can kind of, to put it for the lack of a better word, that can spit out the right drugs, clinical trial ready drugs, to then go into the clinic. So we want to invest also in preclinical models that are available to everybody. And last but not least, we really feel strong about investing in a global clinic network to make sure that we have quality care regardless of age and location, geographical location. So as you know, we have been shaking up the system quite a bit over the past couple of years. And I just want to make sure that you understand that we're not done yet and that we will get even more bold at CTF in collaboration with our other funders. The Strategic Planning Committee has in fact devised 4 main pillars. The first pillar is about being laser focused on research, because at the end of the day, where we will get the new drugs from is from the new discoveries. It is the science that will fuel the drug discovery, that will fuel the clinical trials. So we will definitely keep staying focused on research. The second thing is that strengthening the drug discovery and development infrastructure, which is, as I said before, that machine that will spit out assets or drugs that are ready to go into the clinic. Then we definitely wanted to strengthen our clinical trials. And last but not least, we really want to invest in education and empowerment of our patients. Let me go through the 4. So first of all, the research focused. We will be focusing on 3 main things. One is we will pursue more dose grants that will get us faster to the clinic. A discovery that stays a discovery is not enough for us. We really want to make sure that if a discovery is made, that we can actually bring that, and that will lead to a better treatment for patients. The second is to develop better selection tools. It is a way, if you look at drug discovery as a filter system, you start with hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions of potential drugs, then you have to filter them through different filters to end up with 1 or 2 in a clinic. So you can imagine that your filters, in order to make the right selection, to bring the right drug to the right patient at the right time, these filters are absolutely crucial, because if you select the wrong drugs out in the beginning, then you bring obviously the wrong drug to the clinic. And then the third one is that, yes, the NF research space is growing, but we want to attract more people from outside. Everybody who is smart and who has done something fantastic outside NF, we want them in our space. And we hope we will collaborate with all the 150 people that are on the call today to make sure that we attract the best and the most talented people to this NF space. When it comes to the infrastructure, what we are going to do is develop what we call a preclinical hub in partnership with some others, such as the IBRI or some other foundations. And it is really to become also that one-stop shop for treatment. Normally, let's say in the traditional world, all these different experiments, all these different spokes on the hub that you see here, they're done in a sequential way. So you first test in a cell, then you do this, then you do that. So what we want to do is we want to do as much as possible in parallel by also offering some kind of all these spokes that went through due diligence by the Children's Tumor Foundation, to make sure that for companies it becomes really easy to test their drugs quickly. When it comes to strengthening clinical trials, as I said before, we will now develop and expand our clinical trials network and our clinical network globally. We want to co-fund that global trial network, whether that is together with CDMRP or with the IMI or with other of the partners that are for the moment part already of existing platform trials. And then the last one is we want to implement these global platform trials, because as I can explain to any of you who is interested, that is again a fast way to test drugs quickly. So it makes it really efficient for companies to figure out if their drug works or actually doesn't work. Education and empowerment, super, super important. For the moment, when clinical trials are run, the only moment in other, let's say in the other spaces, the only moment where patients can speak up is to say, I do not enroll in this clinical trial because I don't believe in it. And in fact, 1/4 of the clinical trials in rare disease fail because of low patient recruitment. It takes forever to convince patients to be part of a clinical trial. What we want to do and what we are already doing is educating the patients so that actually they have a seat at the table. And as you see in RAINS, patients are part of developing outcome measures. So what matters to me as an outcome measure? And 2, they co-design clinical trials. So now you have people that actually know from day one what kind of clinical trials will be run. So that will reduce patient recruitment because patients understand. The clinicians who improve the care, that of course will also lead to our education. We have already a couple of education efforts, mainly in Europe, that are running to really train the patients to more clinicians, in fact, to take care of our patients so well. And then, as I said before, we're expanding the field to make sure that more researchers are coming into our space and help us accelerate not only discoveries, but also translation from discovery into clinical benefit. And then the second, let's say, chapter of this education and empowerment is to empower patients to become part of the NF registry, which of course is hugely important for patients, not only to stay informed, but also to let researchers research patients with NF, and to also show the world that we are many patients and that they cannot ignore us. Create a network of patient ambassadors who are highly educated and able to talk to anyone in the community, from clinicians, but also regulators, government, and anyone. And then the last one, of course, is patient engagement, to make sure that we're bringing the right treatments to the right patients and that those are the treatments that the patients want. Of course, a strategy won't be a strategy if there wouldn't be also an operational plan associated to it. And we will make sure that we're using your resources and our resources as wisely as possible, completely staying focused on our goals and making sure that it is the best possible experience for everybody who is coming close to our foundation. First is on related to strategic communication. So as we said before, we want CTF to be that central hub. So we have to really build a central trusted source for information and education. We have been very strong, and that has been, we've been helped and been really lucky to have a partnership now with American Airlines, who is helping us become every day a little bit more data and metric driven, in the sense that we actually exactly know what we're doing and that we know how we can best spend our resources to make sure that the impact is as quickly as possible. We, of course, want to be on the forefront of the news, because if more people know about NF, they care about NF, and those patients that are out there that feel lonely and don't know yet that we exist, we really want to offer them a community to become part of, because we've heard from parents how incredibly important that is. And of course, we want to build a global NF authority. We want to build that global NF community, because we need to have a global presence, because NF is still a rare disease, and the more clinical trials we have, the more it is important to work globally. Of course, we will make sure that we are an organizational, effective organization. We will invest in our tools to make sure that our work is efficient and that we work as efficiently and effectively as possible. And of course, we will invest in our people, because as we all know, it is the people that make an organization. And I'm very proud of my team, but we're all a little overstretched. So we have been hiring and are hiring some additional help here to make sure that we can keep doing the work that is so needed in order to go fast. When it comes to fueling our future successes, as I said before, we want to be driven by data, not only research data, but also patient and clinician data, but also donor data. We want to make sure that we're investing our resources, our time, and our investments in the best possible way. We want to be global and inclusive. We want to action over talk, as you know. And then when it comes to donations, we have mapped out the plan. And in order to do everything I just talked about, we will need to raise about $130 million, not in 1 year, of course, but over the time frame of about 6 years. Now, here comes the call for action. Where do you see yourselves? There's so many paths you can take to be involved and make a difference. And all of your individual contributions are equally important, and we need everybody's help to achieve our goals. And what is really important here, and this is my invitation to all of you, find your place in our movement. So I would like to thank you very warmly for this. And please, if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them.